Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Onego Bio.
All right, so today we're diving into something pretty incredible. We're talking about a company called Onego Bio, and get this, they're making real egg protein, but without the chickens.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. They've actually found a way to produce egg white protein that's identical to what you would get from a chicken, but through a completely different process.
Yeah, when I first heard about this, I thought it was something straight out of like a science fiction movie. We've got some excerpts from their website here, and it's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, it's like a perfect example of how biotechnology is like stepping up to tackle some of the biggest challenges facing our food system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So today we're going to unpack all of this, understand how this technology works, explore its potential impact, and really just uncover what makes it so groundbreaking.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so let's break it down. First things first, what is this magic they're using?
It's a process called precision fermentation. You can think of it kind of like brewing beer, but instead of producing alcohol, we're getting egg protein.
Wait, so we're talking about brewing egg white?
In a way, yes, both processes use microorganisms that are fed sugar to produce something specific. So in beer, it's yeast creating alcohol. But Onego Bio uses a special fungus to create egg protein.
Hold on, fungus like the stuff that grows on old bread that's making my egg white omelet?
Well, it's not just any fungus. It's a particular species called Trichoderma reesei. And it actually has a pretty interesting history. It was discovered during World War II because it was eating away at soldiers' clothing, intense in the South Pacific. Imagine finding your gear disintegrating because of like a hungry fungus.
That's wild. So how did scientists even realize this fungus could be useful for making food?
Well, scientists have known for a long time that T. reesei is really good at breaking down plant material, and that process involves producing enzymes. It turns out those enzymes can be harnessed for other purposes, including creating valuable proteins.
So it went from munching on military gear to churning out egg white protein. What a glow up.
It really highlights how scientific discoveries often come from unexpected places.
Yeah, totally. So, okay, we've got our hungry fungus, but how does it actually go from chomping on stuff to producing egg protein?
Yeah, so it all starts with a blueprint for ovalbumin, which is the main protein found in egg whites. And scientists obtain this blueprint from a genetic database. You can think of it like a massive library of genetic information, and no chickens are involved at all.
So it's like finding the recipe for egg white in this giant database of life.
Exactly. And they take this blueprint and introduce it into the T. reesei cells. It's like giving them a new set of instructions. So instead of producing their usual proteins, they start making ovalbumin.
Wow, it's like reprogramming the fungus to become an egg protein factory.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And this is where the fermentation process comes in. They grow the fungus in large tanks, carefully controlling the conditions, just like brewing beer.
Okay, so they're basically feeding this fungus a ton of sugar to make it pump out egg protein.
It's a little more nuanced than that. They actually alternate between feeding it glucose and nutrients and then depriving it of food.
Wait, why would they starve the poor fungus?
Well, it's all about maximizing protein production. You see, when the fungus has plenty of food, it focuses on growing, but when food becomes scarce, it goes into survival mode and starts producing tons of protein as like a stress response. They even describe it as the fungus sweating protein.
Hold on, the fungus sweats protein. That's hilarious. So it's like the fungus is hitting the gym, doing some serious weightlifting, and getting ripped by churning out protein. Okay, I have to ask, how does this stack up against traditional egg production, with actual chickens, one hen, one egg per day, right?
Right, and that's what makes this technology so remarkable. Traditional egg production is incredibly inefficient.
Yeah.
What's exciting about this fungus is its potential efficiency. We don't have like exact numbers yet, but it's clear that this method could produce far more protein in a much shorter time frame. No waiting around for chickens to lay eggs, just a tank full of protein-pumping fungus.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here, but they're not just claiming this is better, right? Do they have data to back up these efficiency claims?
They've actually conducted what's called a life cycle analysis, which is like a full environmental audit of a product from its creation to its disposal. And what they found is that their process has the potential to be significantly more sustainable than traditional egg white production.
That's impressive. And are they just using sugar to feed this protein-making machine, or are there other options on the menu?
That's another exciting aspect of this technology. Onego Bio is exploring the use of alternative feedstocks like agricultural waste materials. Imagine turning leftover crop residues into valuable protein.
That's amazing. It's like turning trash into treasure. Talk about a circular process and what happens to all the leftover fungus once they've extracted the protein. Do they just toss it out?
They've thought of that too. They're exploring ways to use the leftover biomass for things like packaging materials, pet food, or even mycelium-based leather alternatives. It's a truly zero-waste approach.
So it's sustainable, efficient, and they're even finding uses for the byproducts. It's like they've thought of everything, but what about the final product? They're calling it bioalbumin, right? What's
Yeah.
that like?
Yes. Biohuman, and it's designed to be a direct replacement for traditional egg white powder. It's not some strange lab-grown concoction. It actually has the same properties as regular egg white.
Wait, really? So you're telling me this fungus can actually produce the same protein as a chicken? My mind is blown. So it has the same texture. You can whip it up into meringue.
That's right. It has the same taste, texture, and functionality, so you can use it in baking, cooking, or any application where you would typically use egg whites.
Okay, this is seriously impressive, but what's Onego Bio's end game here? Are they trying to like corner the market on egg whites, or is there a bigger vision?
Their vision goes way beyond just replacing eggs. They're aiming to build a more resilient food system. They recognize that global demand for protein is growing rapidly, and they believe this technology can play a crucial role in meeting that demand sustainably.
It's a bold vision, and it seems like they're making serious progress. Their website mentions features in some pretty big publications. Fast Company, TechCrunch, Forbes.
Yeah, they're definitely generating a lot of buzz, and for good reason. This technology has the potential to be a real game changer in the food industry. And it's not just hype. They've secured significant funding to scale up production and build their first commercial scale facility.
Wow, so this isn't just some small lab experiment anymore. They're going all in on this.
Absolutely. They're betting on the future of food, and it's fascinating to watch it unfold.
Okay, this is all incredibly exciting, but I have to ask, if they can make egg protein this way, what's next? Could this be used for other animal products?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Could this technology be used to produce milk meat? Or even gelatin? This could be the beginning of a whole new era of food production, and I, for one, am eager to see what they come up with next.
This is seriously mind-blowing stuff. We've gone from a fungus-eating tense to talking about the future of food.
It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the surprising ways nature can provide solutions to our challenges.
All right, I think we need a moment to digest all of this before we dive any deeper. This is some serious food for thought. What do you think?
So, we've covered the how behind this amazing technology, but let's kind of delve into the why it matters. Why should this fungus-made egg protein matter to the average person?
Right, it's cool and all, but does it actually make a difference?
Well, think about the scale of the global egg industry for a moment.
Yeah.
We're talking about billions upon billions of chickens raised each year that requires massive amounts of land water feed, not to mention the ethical considerations.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this. So if Onego Bio can produce the same protein but with a smaller footprint, that's huge, right?
Exactly, and it aligns perfectly with, this increasing demand for sustainable food solutions. More and more people are becoming aware of the impact their food choices have on the planet, and they're looking for ways to make a difference.
Yeah, and it's not just about saving the planet, though, is it? There are also like the ethical concerns about how we raise and treat animals for food.
You bring up a really important point. Intensive animal agriculture raises a host of ethical questions that this technology could potentially address. Onego Bio's method offers a way to produce animal protein without the need for large-scale animal farming.
Okay, that's a powerful argument, but let's be realistic. Are people really ready to ditch traditional eggs for something made from fungus? I mean, it sounds a bit out there, doesn't it?
It's understandable to have that initial reaction, but think about it this way. Bioalbumin isn't meant to completely replace all eggs. It's designed to be this versatile ingredient that can be used in a wide range of products, especially where the egg is more functional than the star of the show.
So you're saying instead of scrambling up some fungus for breakfast, I'm more likely to find it in things like baked goods or protein bars where I might not even notice a difference.
Exactly. In those applications, the average consumer might not even know the difference.
Yeah.
The point is that it offers the same functionality and nutritional value as traditional egg white, but with a more sustainable and potentially more ethical production method.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's not about convincing everyone to go vegan overnight. It's about giving people more options and gradually shifting the food industry towards more sustainable practices.
Precisely. And remember, this is still relatively new as it develops and scales up. We can expect the cost to come down, making it even more accessible and appealing to a wider range of consumers.
Yeah, it's exciting to think about all the possibilities, but if this works for egg white, what's to stop them from using this approach for other animal products, milk, meat, even leather?
You're hitting on exactly what has everyone so excited about this technology. The potential here is truly enormous. Imagine a future where we can enjoy the foods we love without the ethical and environmental baggage.
It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, but this is real. It's happening right now, and it makes you wonder, what does this mean for our relationship with the natural world? What are the ethical implications of essentially creating animal products without the animals?
Those are some really thought-provoking questions, and it's exactly the kind of conversation we need to be having as a society. As this technology advances, we need to consider the broader implications and make informed choices about the kind of future we want to create.
Yeah, it's clear that this is more than just about, like, a new food product. It's potentially reshaping how we think about food and our relationship with the planet. It's a lot to take in.
It is, but it's important to remember that Onego Bio is just one part of this growing wave of companies that are developing animal-free protein solutions. And the exciting thing is they're not just competing, they're collaborating and sharing knowledge. It's like a collective effort to find truly sustainable solutions that benefit everyone.
So it's like a scientific race to save the planet, but everyone wins.
Exactly. It's inspiring to see so much innovation and collaboration in this field.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've gone from fungus-eating tents to the potential for a more sustainable food system, and it's been an incredible journey.
It's been a pleasure exploring all this with you and hopefully with our listener as well.
Absolutely. But before we wrap up completely, I want to bring it back to you, the listener. Knowing what we know now about this technology, its potential and the challenges it faces, what is the biggest takeaway for you?
I think the most important thing to remember is this: the future of food is in our hands. We have the power to make choices that support a more sustainable, just, and delicious food system.
That's a powerful message. And with companies like Onego Bio leading the way, I'm feeling optimistic about the future.
Me too. It's an exciting time to be alive and to witness these incredible innovations unfolding before our eyes.
I completely agree. Okay, so we've explored the science, the potential, the challenges, but we want to leave you with something to ponder, something to think about as you go about your day. Imagine a world where food is abundant, delicious, and produced in a way that respects the planet and all its inhabitants.
What role will you play in making that vision a reality?
That's a great question to consider. So keep that in mind as we move into the final part of our deep dive. Wow, we've been on quite a journey today, haven't we? From a fungus that once munched on military gear to the potential for a truly sustainable food system.
Yeah, it's remarkable how scientific discoveries so often lead us down these unexpected paths. Who would have thought that like a humble fungus could hold the key to revolutionizing how we produce food?
Yeah, it makes you realize that innovation can really come from the most unexpected places. But before we wrap up our deep dive into Onego Bio and their amazing fungus-powered egg protein, I wanted to touch on something we briefly mentioned earlier, this feeling that we're just at the beginning of something much bigger.
Yeah, I think that's a very astute observation. Onego Bio's success with egg white protein has really cracked open a whole new world of possibilities if we can make eggs without chickens. What else is on the horizon?
Exactly. It's like we're on the verge of this massive shift in how we produce food. Imagine a world where we can enjoy all the foods we love, but produced in a way that's, better for the planet and the animals.
Yeah, it's a compelling vision, and it's already gaining some serious momentum. We're seeing companies using similar technologies to create everything from cell-based meat to dairy-free cheese that melts and stretches, just like the real thing.
It's mind-blowing, though. I have to admit, a part of me is still a little skeptical. Can these lab-grown alternatives really live up to the real deal? Will people actually embrace them, or will they always feel like a second-rate substitute?
Yeah, that's a fair question, and ultimately only time will tell. But it's important to remember that consumer preferences are constantly evolving. People are becoming more aware of the impact of their food choices, and they're looking for options that align with their values. I mean, think about how much the plant-based food landscape has changed in recent years. What seemed novel a few years ago is now commonplace.
That's true, and let's be honest, sometimes those plant-based alternatives leave something to be desired. Maybe this new wave of cellular agriculture can close that gap and create products that are both sustainable and truly satisfying.
Yeah, I think that's a key point. It's not about forcing people to give up the foods they enjoy. It's about giving them choices that are better for the planet, for animals, and for their own health. It's about expanding our definition of what food can be.
So as we reach the end of this deep dive, what's the key takeaway for our listener? What do we want them to walk away with today?
More than anything, I think the most important message is that the future of food is not set in stone. It's something we have the power to shape. By supporting companies like Onego Bio, by making informed choices about the food we buy and eat, we can all play a part in creating a more sustainable, just, and delicious food system.
That's a powerful message, and it's empowering to realize that we're not just passive consumers. Every decision we make, every bite we take is a vote for the kind of world we want to live in.
And remember, this is just the start of the conversation. As these technologies continue to advance, we need to stay informed, ask questions, and engage in these thoughtful discussions about the implications the future of food is unfolding before our eyes. And we all have a role to play in shaping it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, on that note, it's time to bring this deep dive to a close. We've learned about a groundbreaking technology, explored its potential to transform the food industry, and considered some truly thought-provoking questions about the future of food.
It's been a pleasure sharing this journey with you and our listener.
And to our listener, we leave you with this final thought. Imagine a world where food is abundant, delicious, and produced in a way that respects the planet and all its inhabitants. What will you do to make that vision a reality? Until next time, happy eating and keep diving deep.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.